Hello YouTube.com and people of the World Wide Web. Windows are a staple of computer operating systems, with macOS being the most second used, with the rest being ones we don't care about. I hope. But let's go back to Windows XP. This was the interface that most 2000 kids experienced, with a simple and almost childlike layout. It's what brought nostalgia and joy to users at the time. Or maybe people were simply used to it, they didn't think twice about it. This can be said the same for even shit you wouldn't think about in hindsight, like the sound effects, the startup, the icons, the slow-ass internet speed. Things that you wouldn't think at first that you would have nostalgia to. Will this be said the same for Windows 11? I hope not. Now, I didn't even grow up with XP for most of my early childhood. It was Windows 7, okay? I was born in 2007. But most of the points I gave to Windows XP in regards to how it possibly defined the 2000s apply the same to Windows 7 as to how that had a large impact on the early 2010s. And if we're talking about Vista, late 2000s. Yeah, Vista's garbage, but the point still stands. But I'm someone who wasn't even born in the early to mid 2000s. So what the fuck do I know? But what if we took Windows XP and took a more sinister and unnerving approach? What if we simply wanted to relive the days of early Windows to fulfill any needs of nostalgia, but instead are greeted by a corrupted collection of horror? But what would also be the most stupid thing ever. We are of course talking about Windows XP Horror Edition, and before I start, there's one thing I want to bring up which is integral to the making of this video, is that this is an actual virus, and it will damage your computer. And it's strange because when you go through it, it feels like the sort of thing some dude will make to just scare children due to how corny a lot of it is. So to set this as an integral statement, don't download this, because you will not be able to boot up your computer afterwards. So to prove this, I'm gonna set up a virtual machine for Windows XP where we will be installing the said virus. Why not use a virtual machine for Windows 10 or 7 or whatever? Because I already had a virtual machine for Windows XP, I decided to copy the exact status that I was in into another virtual machine that I could use. And also because I'm lazy. Now, you may have seen this virus before in the style of YouTubers being scared as shit when going through it, so you may remember or fully know everything that's gonna be shown here. But if you haven't seen any videos, then this will be a fully new experience for you. Hey guys, Galaxy Yoshi from the future here, and I wanted to clarify something before I show off this virus, and is that, a couple days ago, Vibing Leaf made a video, like a recreation for the Windows XP Horror Edition. And you have to believe me when I say that this is simply a coincidence, because I literally started the script for my video, like many days before that video that Vibing Leaf made. So I just wanted to clarify that. I am in no way affiliated with Vibing Leaf. I'm genuinely shocked in how this just sort of happened. Oh, and before I start, if you're enjoying the video, please get me to 200 followers on both Twitter and Instagram. Obviously that is sort of a joke, but if one of the accounts gets to, like, I don't know, approximately 130 followers under the span of, like, 6 months, I'll show off my Pokemon card collection.
There must have been an angel by my side.
When booting up the destructive version, otherwise the virus, it begins to show us the installing screen for Windows XP, along with the widely known music that goes along with it, bringing us a sense of wonder and contempt with a new computer experience until, the installation pauses at 66%, resembling, of course, Satan's number, giving us an error that's saying that it will now comply with file 666 SYS. That's concerning. And oh brother, it sure is, since once we click OK, the installation screen turns red with the Windows XP logo being switched to some text saying "Don't look behind you," with a menacing sketch of an eye. The music also changes. Don't expect me to know what it changes to, it's just some creepy and also childish music. The screen then glitches out with a bizarre assortment of colors being mixed in with each other, then showing a loading up screen for Windows XP with the fucking Evil Dead 2 poster along with it. The Windows XP startup plays, but in a really distorted tone. We then get brought to a more spooky and unnerving version of the Windows XP desktop, with Bliss being replaced with a large stack of skulls, with the background sometimes searching with unnerving imagery, with creepy and spooky music playing in the back. Damn, this is messed up. But not as messed up as this.
All my fellas!
With all of the content which is being shown to us so far, we can definitely decipher that this is not the Windows XP we know and love. No internet, no Windows Movie Maker, no Space Cadet Pinball, no Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius for the PC. With the glossy and memorable start button being replaced with Dead! No more! Clicking on the notepad titled, "Don't open notepad, bring..." This is fucking stupid. A message saying, "Congratulations, you opened me. Do you want to play a game?" Okay then, look behind you. But there's nothing behind me, I don't— Oh no! God darn it, guys, I really shouldn't have opened that notepad because now I've been jump scared by Granny. I don't understand, why would you steal a jump scare from a hit horror mobile game? This is so stupid. I wish nothing but joy and happiness for all we share. Once we interact with the red tinted PNG icon simply titled nothing, we get shown another stolen piece of media. That's amazing. Thank you so much. I don't get it. Like, yeah, I understand that this was made by some kid, teen, adult, whatever, with the main purpose just to scare people. But can't it just have more of a creative and unique stand to just create your own art and visuals for such a thing? So the actual animation in question is called the Sad Man, and I kid you not, the entire animation is just stolen for this virus. There was no other reason for this other than, oh, this looks like some cool, obscure, scary animation. This and Granny have complete relevance to Windows XP. So after that's done, we have two things left to do. Click on the dead button, or click on my computer. Clicking on the start button, which has been rephrased to something absolutely evil, brings us two words in a language beyond human comprehension, with there being the obvious turn-off option for the computer. But we're not pressing that just yet, as we have my computer to investigate. Clicking on this gives us a window saying, "Do you seriously want to trash your computer forever?" Which is odd to ask, because I didn't even want my computer to be erased in the first place. Why are you instantly jumping to that conclusion? All I wanted to do was just to check on my computer. How rude! Clicking on no does nothing, as it simply gives us only one option. After doing this, our computer gets instantly dragged to the recycle bin. I don't know why, but the computer being taken away in the matter of seconds is really fucking funny. Once this happens, there are moments of silence. When a phantom balloon boy jump scare appears, this is literally the worst fucking thing. After this, instead of a blue screen of death, it is a red screen of death, displaying text at a quick pace, showing us that the following file, 666.sys, had inflicted some harm to our computer. Or maybe it was just due to the fact that we just erased our computer, I don't know. While this visual is being looped over, there's some uncomfortable error noise being played. And I'm gonna be real, this is the only instance where the virus actually does an effective job at scaring the user and also making its own material for it. Not to say like the background changing every few seconds to haunting imagery is all fun and games. Like, yeah, it'll give me a scare, but it's more when it's using imagery you would come to expect in a normal version of Windows XP. Almost. I mean, yeah, there was the Game Boy Color era though, where like if you like clicked on run too many times, it would be like, who are you running from? And that's, you wouldn't expect that on a Nintendo device, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should reconsider my choices of making this video. After this happens, a small blue screen is shown for a couple seconds, which I don't understand myself, but I'm not gonna question it anyway. It then restarts the computer by itself. Well, at least that's what's happening in the virtual machine for Windows XP. I don't know what's happening on a VM for Windows 10 or 7, or maybe an actual operating system that's running the virus, which, as I told earlier, none of you should be doing. But for this machine, it just restarts the system, and instead of showing the Windows XP booting up screen, we are instead shown an eye that's used in every shitty analog horror or FNAF VHS video, with the text saying, "I'm watching you," with the text bottom mentioning the creator of the virus. And, yeah, that's about it. Hey guys, so it turns out during my experience of the Windows XP Horror Edition virus, I forgot to present two jump scares that appeared within it. So I'm just gonna show them off here right now. So first off, if you just sort of like leave the screen here for a little bit, yeah, you'll sort of hear this tune building up, this sort of scary tune building up, and then just wait for it, wait for it. And if you let it happen again, so essentially that's what happens. Like, if you just let go of the screen, you don't do anything for a little while, you hear a tune building up, leading to just a really obnoxious, dumb jump scare. So I'm gonna show you the next thing. If you click on this little icon here, you get shown this door. Knocking, alright. More knocking. Maybe click on it. That doesn't work. Yeah, go to sleep. Yep, that's appropriate. Yeah, that's about it.
Idiot!
What? Don't say that to me. I didn't
Shut
mean-
up.
When booting up the machine, you won't be able to enter the desktop as you're only greeted by this, never being able to enter your home screen again. Now, one thing I want to say about this is that this is different from like any other virus, not only in the way it's structured, like it's almost replicating some cringy game you could have downloaded on itch.io or GameJolt. And it's really funny because this is the sort of thing I would have imagined a virus to be back in the day. Just some haunted entity there to corrupt your computer in a way to traumatize you for the rest of your life. Mudahar made a good video sort of investigating how the I'm watching you screen sort of affected the bootloader or install for Windows XP, and possibly affecting those attributes only for that system since he also used Windows XP to install the virus, so for other operating systems, no fucking clue. Now to you will be Chip if you are watching this. Make a Windows 8 Horror Edition, but have it so the moment you click on the virus, it replaces all the files on your computer to this image. Thank you.
Like this tenderness.